Welcome back to NaturalOne, the microwave meals of the D&D creator space. Quick, occasionally questionable, and somehow comforting enough to keep you coming back even when you know you deserve better. We're back to doing what we do best, stuffing your favorite pop culture characters into the unforgiving meat grinder of 5e character builds. That's right, Iron Man's landing in 5e, ready to bring you snark, tech, and just enough emotional baggage to power Stark Industries' arc reactor. If you like your heroes flashy, your suits shiny, and your therapy sessions mostly avoided, this build's got you covered. Let's begin.
That man is playing Galaga. Thought we wouldn't notice.
Tony Stark can't just swagger into the MCU or D&D without some numbers to back up the bravado. These stats keep his arc reactor humming and his suits blasting. Starting with a 15 in intelligence, this is the guy who built a high-tech war machine in a cave with a box of scraps. His brain is basically a walking Stark Expo, packed full of raw genius and impulse decisions. Follow that up with a 14 in charisma. Billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. Tony's got the charm to sell ice to a frost giant, or at least convince Pepper to put up with him. His wit's nearly as dangerous as his armor's repulsors. Dexterity gets a 13. Flying a rocket-powered suit and firing lasers takes nimble fingers and reflexes faster than his comebacks. Next up, his strength lands at a 12. He's not Hulk smash level, but enough to throw a punch or carry heavy gear when he's off the clock. That suit can't be that light. His wisdom sits at an okay 10. Tony's instincts usually keep him alive, but does he handle the trauma well? Hey, get away from his 50th emotional support suit. Constitution clocks in at an 8. He's reckless, borderline immortal thanks to the suit, but his body definitely isn't built to tank hits. Or, shrapnel to his heart.
Textbook narcissism. Agreed?
Tony Stark's a variant human, because, let's be real, pretty much every character we build around here is a variant human. We crank his intelligence to 16 because his brain's not big enough yet, and charisma to 15 because Tony's got the charm, and ego, to outtalk just about anyone. History skill fits perfectly. Dude's got a deep knowledge of tech, weapons, and of course, the shady secrets his family left behind. The Keen Mind feat is a classic Tony move. Photographic memory, an internal clock sharper than his suit's sensors, and the relentless drive to keep innovating. That extra +1 in intelligence pushes him to 17, because when it comes to brains, well, there's only a few in Marvel to rival him. For the background, Inheritor doesn't just mean Tony inherited Stark Industries, he's also got the formula for that new element that keeps his suits running and his enemies guessing. Survival lets him survive even the worst of the Iron Man movies, and Arcane is the nod to his borderline magical tech. If you try and tell me nanotech isn't magic, I probably won't do anything, but I'll definitely think you're wrong.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
Shakespeare in the Park?
Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?
We're kicking things off at level 1 with a dip in the Bard. Why? Well, he's cocky, charming, and more than happy to turn your emotional damage into psychic damage. We'll grab Vicious Mockery, because no insult hits harder than Stark sarcasm, and True Strike, because, hey, it's the best cantrip in the game. His spell list includes Featherfall, turns out a parachute can keep your spine intact, Longstrider to add a bit of thrust to his movement, Silvery Barbs because he fights dirty, and Heroism, because deep down, beneath the ego and the metal, he really does want to save people. For skills, we're taking Persuasion, Performance, and Insight, because he can sell you a missile system while diagnosing your childhood trauma. Or at least Friday can help him do so. At level 2, Stark taps into his inner overachiever with Jack of all trades. If there's a role happening anywhere near him, he wants in on it. Doesn't matter if he's not trained, he's Tony Stark. Of course he can do it better. Song of Rest kicks in too, which fits. He probably plays some smooth jazz over the comms while the team patches themselves up. And Magical Inspiration means his Bardic boosts now supercharge spells too. Think of it as him remotely patching your Fireball for extra kick. We'll add Earth Tremor here because sometimes you just gotta stomp the floor like you're testing out a new Hulkbuster. By level 3, Tony's Bardic swagger hits full throttle. He picks up expertise in Arcana and Persuasion, because nobody in the Marvel Universe understands borderline magic science or themselves better than Tony. We're locking in the College of Lore here as well, which means he picks up Intimidation, Investigation, and Perception. He's now officially the guy who walks into a room and instantly knows what you're hiding, how dangerous it is, and how to monetize it. Most importantly, he gets cutting words, because few things hit harder than a Stark-brained ego demolition. Mechanically, it's a reaction. In universe, it's just Tony being Tony. Also adding Gift of Gab, because if anyone needs a spell to undo the last thing they said, it's this guy. At level 4, Tony steps into the Artificer lab. This is the real suit-up moment. I mean, not really, that comes later, but he does gain magical tinkering, so now every surface is potentially a touchscreen, and every pen is secretly a tracking device. For cantrips, we're taking Guidance, because even geniuses could use some AI butler help, and Resistance, since he's learned the hard way that shielding tech saves lives. His first real spells as an Artificer are Cure Wounds, Identify, and Absorb Elements. That last one is especially clutch when you're testing unlicensed energy weapons indoors, which Tony definitely does. Level 5 takes us further into Artificer, where the real Stark tech starts coming online. Infusions are basically Tony's custom loadouts. He grabs Enhanced Defense for that signature repulsor armor, and Enhanced Arcane Focus, because his toys aren't just stylish, they're optimized. He also picks up False Life, which we're flavoring as his arc reactor overclocking his life support systems. He's not tougher, he just refuses to die out of spite. At level 6, we hit Artificer level 3, and this is where Tony stops messing around and starts cosplaying as a walking weapons platform. First, the right tool for the job makes it canon that Tony can whip up any set of artisan's tools with enough time and caffeine, which explains the montage scenes. But more importantly, his subclass, Armorer. He gains Arcane Armor, turning any suit into an extension of himself. We're going Guardian model for the classic armored suit he's got. Thunder Gauntlets let him have some thruster-based attacks, and Defensive Field is just Friday adapting to his enemy's combat style. Magic Missile gives him classic Stark micro-missile vibes, and Thunderwave is his ground pound. Drop zone cleared. Level 7 is Artificer level 4, and we're dropping that ASI into a +1 intelligence and a +1 charisma, pushing both stats towards peak performance. He's smarter, smoother, and a bigger pain to argue with. We're tossing Expeditious Retreat into the mix too. It's essentially his emergency thrusters kicking in, letting him boost around the battlefield when things get dicey. By level 8, Artificer level 5 comes with a game changer. Extra Attack. Now, Stark's not just zipping around tossing spells, he's unloading Repulsor Blasts twice a turn like he's clearing out Shatari on lunch break. Spell-wise, we add Shatter, because he loves loud, tech-destroying explosions. Mirror Image for evasive holograms and decoys, and Dark Vision, because obviously the helmet has night vision. It's not amateur hour. At level 9, we reach Artificer level 6 and grab Tool Expertise. Every check Tony makes with tools, any tools, is now doubled. Tinkering, hacking, hotwiring alien tech in a cave, whatever. If it involves a tool and a bad idea, he's got it covered. We had Heat Metal here too, because sometimes you have to weld engine parts back together. For infusions, we grab Dreadhelm. Why? Because glowing red eye slits are a choice. How else are we supposed to do that? And at level 10, Tony unlocks Flash of Genius. Now he can just fix things. Mid-fight. For anyone. Whether it's telling Spider-Man the exact angle to dodge a blast, or correcting Banner's math before a reactor overloads, he throws his intelligence bonus on saving throws and ability checks with his reaction. It's the mechanical version of saying you're welcome while saving everyone's life. Again. Level 11 brings us to Artificer level 8, and Tony maxes out his intelligence with a +2 boost, officially cementing himself as the smartest guy in the room. No, seriously, even when he's wrong, he's still right. Spell Rise, we had Skywrite and Pyrotechnics. One's for dramatic mid-air I told you so's, and the other's for turning every battle into a fireworks show. Because if he's saving the day, he's doing it with spectacle. At level 12, Artificer level 9, we unlock armor modifications, which might as well be called Mark V protocol. Now, each part of his suit, the chest plate, boots, helmet, and gauntlets, can hold separate infusions. That's 4 different slots of magical upgrades stacked into one glorious, wearable death machine. It also bumps his infusion count up by 2, as long as they're part of the suit. Think modular upgrades, different suit loadouts, different missions. We're tossing in Hypnotic Pattern for showing off at his Stark expos, and Lightning Bolt for a nice chest repulsor beam.
Can't protect the Earth, you can be damn well sure we'll avenge it.
Level 13 is where Artificer level 10 kicks in, and Tony takes Magic Item Adept. He can now attune to 4 magic items at once, which is honestly the least the game could do for a man whose home has more relics than the Vatican. He also crafts magic items in record time and at half the cost. Because when you run your own R&D lab, you don't pay retail. Winged Boots give him permanent flight, Just pretend they're booster boots. And message lets him say snarky at a distance. Finally, we grab haste because, it's haste. I think that speaks for itself. By level 14, Artificer level 11 drops spell storing item into the mix, which is basically Jarvis, load the spell. He can now stuff a first or second level spell into a weapon or gadget, handing it off like a preloaded Iron Man gauntlet to allies, or letting himself fire it repeatedly. Think remote controlled taser darts, auto injectors, or disposable EMP wrist blaster. With Tony's intelligence, that's up to 10 uses of a spell per long rest. It's tech prep on a terrifying scale. And finally, at level 15, Artificer level 12 gives us another ASI. This time it goes to Charisma, bumping it to an 18. Tony's now as smooth as he is smart, the complete Stark package. And for the cherry on top, Ashlard in stride. He moves at Mach speed, ignores difficult terrain, and leaves fire trails behind him. Congratulations, you've just unlocked Final Battle Tony. He's flying, blasting, quipping, and literally lighting the battlefield on fire as he zips through it. The only thing missing is a classic rock soundtrack. At level 16, Tony's pulling out some serious cinematic spell work. We're taking Fire Shield, which is less magical flames and more that gold titanium alloy that saved his billionaire butt from having his armor freeze off. Now, to make greater invisibility work. Let's call it stealth field upgrades, or maybe just slipping out of a press conference. Either of those should do. And level 17 unlocks Magical Item Savant. And now Tony officially breaks the system. 5 attunements, no class or race restrictions, and full-on god-tier tech integration. We're locking in infusions for an Amulet of Health, which is his Arc Reactor version 2, Belt of Hill Giant Strength, which is his servo-enhanced brute mode, and a Ring of Protection, which is probably just his wedding ring. Because even Tony's magic defenses come with emotional baggage. Mending gets added to his cantrips, obviously. If you think Iron Man isn't patching his own armor in the field, you haven't been paying attention. And finally, Summon Construct, which, if you've ever seen Iron Man 3, needs no explanation. Level 18 brings us back to Bard for that 4th level dip. We grab Blade Ward as a cantrip, which is basically Activate Kinetic Barrier, and Enhance Ability for boosting either his brain or his charm, depending on the social event or the tech emergency. The feat here is Eldritch Adept, which gives us a delayed power upgrade. It's like post-credit content. You gotta wait for it. At level 19, Bard level 5, and Tony gets Font of Inspiration, which is just his repulsors recharging on a short rest. And also a new spell, Fast Friends. It's a classic Stark charm. 1 minute he's insulting you, the next he's got you signing over your proprietary tech. And finally, level 20. Bard level 6 unlocks Counter Charm, because nothing ruins a motivational speech like psychic interference. And the magical secrets that let Tony break even more rules. We grab Eldritch Blast and Pulse Wave. One's a high-tech powered chest cannon with agonizing blast slapped on from the Eldritch Adept feat earlier, and the other is a full-body shockwave blast straight from the Mark 85's playbook. Bonus points if you flavor Pulse Wave as the Hulkbuster's Ground Slam or Unibeam on full discharge. Also, we grab Motivational Speech, because even Tony Stark can rally the troops when it counts.
And I am Iron Man.
Iron Man isn't just a walking weapon, he's a full-on, multifunctional powerhouse. Let's break down why he's such a beast. He's a skilled inventor. He's got 9 skill proficiencies, 2 expertises, 3 tool expertises, full armor proficiency, and anything else he's not trained in, he still gets a +3 bonus on, including initiative. Plus, enhanced ability and flash of genius keep him sharp and reactive. This guy's basically a Swiss Army knife of competence. And despite the arc reactor, he's pretty tanky. He's got a base AC of 19, which goes up to 21 with haste, paired with 183 hit points. Throw in defensive field, false life, cure wounds, and mirror image, and good luck landing a hit. He's not just built to survive, he's built to shrug off attacks like they're minor annoyances. And despite what the other Avengers would say, he's the real leader. This build brings all the support tools. Fast Friends, Gift of Gab, Silvery Barbs, Vicious Mockery, Cutting Words, Bardic Inspiration, Motivational Speech, Heroism, and Flash of Genius. Plus a +4 to Charisma and 3 Charisma skills, 1 with Expertise, means he's not just leading, he's commanding. And we haven't mentioned his damage. No, not pure numbers, just the diverse damage types to keep foes guessing. Psychic, bludgeoning, thunder, fire, lightning, and he's packing the best damage in the game for a punch that hits for 40-10 plus 16. Basically, if you're standing near him, you're in trouble. But hey, no one's perfect, not even this build. Let's get into the stuff that might make you pause before picking him for your party. He's not the wisest knife in the life block. I don't know. Look, away wisdom is bad in Dungeons and Dragons. So many saves hinge on wisdom, and PTSD ain't helping his mental resilience. He's also in concentration hell. Look, he's juggling so many concentration spells that picking one means dropping another. Haste or summon construct. Choose wisely, because they don't stack. Okay, just let me rant for a bit. Why the hell are they bringing back Dr. Doom with Robert Downey Jr.? Like, seriously, I don't have a problem with Doom coming back, but Robert Downey Jr.? I mean, Tony Stark's face is iconic, and now they want us to buy him as Doom, but claim he's not a Stark variant. That makes zero sense. This just feels like a marketing stunt, not a thoughtful choice. You can't just slap Iron Man's actor on Doom and expect it to work without confusing or frustrating fans. If Doom just ends up feeling like a weird Stark copy, what's the point? It's disrespectful for both characters and their histories, and honestly, it's making me question where the MCU's creativity is headed. Okay, I'm sorry, rant over. Let's move on with this. Alright, that's a wrap on our genius playboy billionaire philanthropist. If geeking out over busted spell combos and armor shenanigans is your jam, drop a comment or toss me a character you want torn apart and rebuilt in glorious D&D fashion. Don't just stand there. Smash that like button, slam subscribe, and hit that bell like it owes you money, so you don't miss a single ridiculous build. Oh, and check the description for our Patreon. Yeah, that's right. Every single build, all free. There are no strings on me. Alright, sorry, that's enough out of me. So until next time, we'll catch you on the flip side.